Aloha! Today I'm on my level 45 rogue Jahar in the City of Mist. So before I get into the group part of this, I wanted to do a short introduction to the City of Mist for anybody who might not be familiar with it. When you come into the zone, the first thing you'll do is cross this broken down bridge and go through the Iron Gate. From the Iron Gate, if you go left, you'll end up in the stables area. That's one of the camps. Directly across from the stables, you'll find the temple. And the temple is slightly higher, mob-wise, than the stables. If you go further back into the zone, the next place that you'll come to is the arena. And these mobs are slightly higher than the temple. And then all the way in the back, as you traverse through this winding pathway here and across these bridges, you'll come to the camp, the Moat. Now inside this building is where you'll find all the Black Reavers, and you need a rogue in order to unlock that door. Now high above the City of Mist is a series of ramps and platforms that have higher level mobs. Now to access those ramps and platforms, there's several ways to get there, but the one that I typically use is going through the temple. You go up to this balcony, and there's like a flag holder thing on the wall that if you run and jump, you can land on that and then jump again over onto the platform to access those ramps. I was lucky to find a really excellent group at the arena, which in our group we had a necromancer, a bard, a ranger, a shaman, and a druid. And from the time that I joined to the time that we broke up, it was non-stop pulls and really good experience. Since level 45 is like a hell level, this helped tremendously in making that progress towards getting out of it and hitting 46. So Jahar is my soon-to-be Lord Nagafin Lady Vox Dragon tune, and by that I mean I don't plan to exceed level 52 so that I can participate in fights against those dragons. Now, if you aren't familiar with those encounters, they'll banish any character in their lair who is over level 52. So you have to be 52 in order to participate in that fight. So from the standpoint of guilds, like raiding guilds, they like to see having alternate characters at 52 who are available to join that battle when the call goes out. Back in 1999-2000 in original EverQuest, my main for a long time was a rogue on the Bristlebane server. We had started a guild there called Blackthorn, which consisted mostly of guys that I worked with in the IT and logistics department at Whirlpool Corporation. Whirlpool, like refrigerators and stoves and things, and their wives and some other friends that we had outside of work. But since we all had kids, it was a good way for us to like hang out outside of work after the kids were in bed, and we still had a good time. And we would like organize like lunch meetings and things like that, where we'd go to like a buffet and sit around and talk about like the adventures we had the night before. And it was all pretty cool. Blackthorn actually grew into a pretty competitive guild, and for a long time we had quite a few members. We even organized like real life guild meetups. I think we had one in Las Vegas one time, and we all became pretty good friends, and some of us still keep in touch today. So it was fun. I don't know, were you ever in a guild like that, where you did like meetups and things outside of the game? Pretty cool. So, but then sometime in 2005, 2006, we ended up all moving over to World of Warcraft, and Blackthorn was no more. Speaking of guilds, it's not easy running a competitive guild. And back then, there was a lot of like manual labor associated with that. I think we kept track of DKP on like old Excel spreadsheets, and then we would post them because we had like our guild website on, I don't know if it was like Lycos or maybe GeoCities, something like that. But that's where we had our guild website. And we didn't have comms either, so like things like Discord and stuff weren't available at the time. And so all the instructions for encounters and things had to be typed out in-game. So it took a lot longer, and it was a lot of waiting around. But I just remember being totally exhausted sometimes after a long TOV raid or something. So keep that in mind with your guild leadership. Their jobs aren't easy. But I really do enjoy playing a rogue. It's kind of a pretty low-stress occupation, and you're always right up close to the action. You know, my main right now is Bard, a muse, and a lot of times I'm just like sitting back with the clerics playing the mana songs and resist songs and all that kind of stuff. So having a character that I can log into and actually be part of the fight is, pretty cool. On Jahar, I am sporting a Frozen Shard in my main hand and the Rapier in my offhand. I think my highest backstab so far at level 45 has been like 368, which isn't too bad. And I'm consistently doing like maybe 190, 220 range, I'd say. Now I do have some pretty okay gear, mostly stuff that I got with the Muse and passed down. I don't have any of the quested stuff from Velios yet, but I do have several pieces in the bank that are waiting for Jahar once he gets into that whole Velios faction game. I got a message from a monk who was soloing at the Moat Camp that a lost Staff of the Scorn dropped, and he had already had one, so if anyone wanted to come and loot it, it was open for the taking. I snuck back there to grab it for a good friend of mine who recently started a wizard. It's too bad that other classes couldn't use it though, because it's a great way for like non-gating classes and boarding classes to get out of places. But alas, it's wizard only. So I went and grabbed that for him. Anyways, I got back to the group, and most of the people had to take a break or were logging off for a bit. So I headed over to the stables and joined a group there that was looking for more people. And this group was pretty good too, although it was just 2 rogues and a enchanter. We didn't have any issues, and it was all smooth. And then a fellow guildie joined up to tank, and we just did our thing. So that's about it for me and Jahar playing around in the City of Mist today. A few more levels, and I can park Jahar at Lady Vox for future dragon slaying. So until we meet again, cheers!